So anyway, so last class basically we were discussing about the importance of the BH loop. So what is the BH loop? With with the help of BH or hysteresis, we call it as a hysteresis loop. So, importance of hysteresis loop can help to identify the type of material. Suppose if it is strong magnetic material or soft magnetic material, so we could able to identify. Okay, if the area of the if the area of this curve is more, the energy loss is more. Okay, energy loss is more. If the area is small, we call it a soft material or soft magnetic material. So it depends upon the area that we get it here. So we can tell that energy loss is more or not. So if this curve is narrow means like small size, so the energy loss is less. If this curve is big, okay, so the energy loss is high. So if the energy loss is less, we can say good materials of iron, and which can be as many useful applications. We also discussed, last class. Uh, uh, Give me 1 second. Sir. Yeah, good morning. I'm in the class, sir. Sir, వాళ్ళు ఈరోజు రమ్మన్నారు సార్ కాలేజీకి. అంటే నో ఫర్ ఆర్టికల్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ పెడదామన్నారు ఈరోజు రెండు పేపర్లు, 2 పేపర్స్ ఫిజిక్స్. లెస్ పిల్లలు వచ్చారంట, సో ఈ కాల్ మీ అండ్ సార్ పిలిపిస్తున్నారు మరి ఒకసారి. ఒక్కసారి రవీంద్ర సార్ నెంబర్ ఉందా మీ దగ్గర? లేకపోతే పెడతా మీకు. అంటే సార్ ఎందుకు మరి ఈరోజు రమ్మన్నాడు ఇద్దరిని. ఒకసారి మాట్లాడండి. ఓకే, ఇట్స్ ఓకే. ఎనీవే 2 ఒకటేసారి ప్యారల్ ఒక 1 అవర్లో అయిపోద్దని చెప్పి. ఓకే సార్. రైట్. సార్. ఓకే, లెట్ మీ స్టాప్ అండ్ let me students. So I was discussing with other sir. Today we have exams. Anyway, right. So here you can see a small experiment that we can tell what is the importance of this curve, right? What is this experiment tells? We're testing 2 materials. The one material is soft iron, the other material is steel. You can clearly see that the steel has a more area than the soft iron. And if I ask you a question, which material is the more energy loss? It is clearly see here the blue one has more energy loss, so which is actually steel material. So steel lost more energy compared to the soft iron. So I'm trying to say here, so which material has a more which material has a more retentivity, which material has a, you should able to understand this. So we already discussed, this is called what, and this is called what? This point we call it retentivity, and this point is we call it coercivity. So which material has a more retentivity? Soft iron. So soft iron has more retentivity, which means, so here So the blue one is as actually here, right? So steel has a low retentivity compared to the soft iron. So which means soft iron has more retentivity. What is the meaning of retentivity? It is a point where the residual magnetization present even applied field is equal to 0. When the applied field is equal to 0 means we are not applying any external field, but still the ferromagnetism shows a residual, some kind of magnetization present even at H is equal to 0, which is called retentivity. Okay, which is called retentivity. So soft iron material has more retentivity compared to the soft iron material has more retentivity compared to the steel. So coming to the coercivity. So what is a coercivity? Coercivity is a point to make the residual magnetization to be zero by applying negative field. So when you change from 0, this side is positive, this side is negative. So when I apply the negative magnetic field across these materials, the residual, whatever was the present, whatever was the field here, so it is going to be 0. Give me 1 second. Sir, sir, sir. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Definitely, sir. Huh? Yeah, right, right, of course. I can keep, sir. ఒకవేళ అలా అనుకుంటే I can keep the exam. Doesn't matter. You don't need to come. నేను ఏదో చూస్తానే. సరే 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 ఓకే సార్ రైట్ రైట్ సార్ రైట్ రైట్ Nana. So yeah, we can see this is the point where the magnetization zero. How can you make magnetization zero? Because you have more magnetization. How can we make it zero? Because you are applying the negative field. So here at this point zero field, at this point high field, this point negative field. At negative field, magnetization we are making zero. Here is a maximum. M is a maximum. So, if I ask a question, I can make 4 or 5 questions from this here. Which of the material or which of these two material has more coercivity? Steel. First answer is steel. Second question. Which of the material has less coercivity? Which of these two following material less coercivity? Soft to iron. Soft to iron. Third question. If I ask a question like, which of these two following metal has more retentivity? Soft iron. Okay, very good. The fourth question, which of these two metal has less coercivity, less retentivity? Steel. So these 4 questions can build from this, this graph. If you know this graph, if someone asks you describe the BH curve with example with application, use these applications. Explain normal way of explain like what is this, and what is the saturation, what is the coercivity, what is the retentivity, and what is the negative field, what is the positive field. You explain everything and take this example, explain it. You get 15 out of 15. Okay, right. I'm going to close it. Now I'm going to show a very exciting experiment, real experiment. So I'm going to explain the experiment. So to do this BH curve, we need to work on the sample, right? So these are the things that we need. So different specific samples we have to find it and find out the energy loss. So what is the apparatus we need? Cathode ray oscilloscope, right? Amplifier, gain control, nail, penetroid, oxo blade. Then this is the experimental setup, Nana. And this is a sample. One of the nail used a specimen. This is a sample we use it. And this is another sample we use, ferrite rod, ferrite material. And this is the back hacksaw blade also. Three samples we are using. One is the magnetic material. The other one is the this is the simple nail beta. We use this nail for the doors fitting, etc. This is a small nail, and this is the ferrite rod, and this is the that oxa blade, like both side holes are there. This is kind of like a blade which we use to cut the material. Okay. And coming to when you keep all this material in the sample here, which is a sample here, you can see here, this is the sample. You keep here samples. Okay, then you change the voltage. Then uh, what you're gonna see, pH loop. I'm gonna show you how the pH loop. Uh, oh, I didn't show, but yeah, that was actually basic experimental setup. So you know that domains, how the domains align. If you apply the field, if you apply the field in one direction, all the domains comes into one direction. This is completely aligned to one direction. This is a aligned dipoles in a within the domains, but if you compare all the material, they are random. But if you this case completely one direction. Okay. So here you can think about very interesting question. See what is going on here. So what is this? At this time, all the you can see all the dipoles are aligned in a one direction. At this time, all the dipoles are aligned. Suppose what is actually going on in the sample? All dipoles align in a field direction. Saturation limit. Saturation limit. So what happened here? Here there are some of the there are some of the dipoles are in a field direction. Even H is equal to 0, there is a residual magnetization. Okay. So what happened here? Here also negative field you applied it. Again they turn into all one direction, which is actually opposite of this. Here all dipoles align in positive direction, but whereas here all they align in a negative direction. Okay. How about here? They completely randomly aligned. M is equal to 0. Okay. M is equal to 0. Okay. So coming to the sir, I'm in the class, sir. I'm in the class, sir. Sir, right. Right. See, there are three samples we did it, right? One is the ferrite rod, the other one is the nail, which we use for door fittings. The other one is the Hoxa blade. What you observe, tell me here. The three samples graphs are here. The first one is the ferrite rod. Ferrite rod, you can see here, the area under this graph, this BH series is very less, very less. And coming to here, nail, which has more energy loss, which is not a good material, of course. And here, Hoxa blade also good material because the area under the BH loop is very less. So now we saw three examples: Hoxa blade, nail, ferrite rod. Ferrite rod, Hoxa blade are the good material in which energy loss is less. Whereas nail case energy loss is more, which is not a good material. So based on the BH loop, we can tell which is the good material. So if the material gets easily magnetized, the loop will be narrow. See, these are the important points, guys. If the material, if the material get easily magnetized, the loop will narrow. So which means you have the narrow peak. Okay, the material is not completely, I mean, if it takes longer time to magnetize, the BH loop will be little bigger. Okay, so we should be able to understand. So different material will saturate at different value, which at different value of the field. The size and shape of the loop depends upon the nature of the material. So what this size depends upon the, what is the, it depends upon the type of material, type of magnetic material. So if it is a soft material, you get the, so very, area should be less. If you get the broader peak, definitely energy loss is more. The size and shape of the loop depends upon the initial state of the sample. So these are the important points to remember, guys. You should take a note down, okay? So hot material, basically you can also hear the hot material which has a high remanence, a large coercivity. So hot material, you have the retentivity, R is a high, C is also high. Soft steel, both large, like retentivity is high and coercivity is small. Okay, ferrite material, like a ceramic like magnetic substances which made from the oxide of iron, nickel, cobalt, magnesium, aluminium, manganese. The hysteresis loss of ferrite is very small. They'll ask, which of the following material has energy loss is less? These are the example for which hysteresis loss is less. Okay, and you should remember for soft steel, definitely S is a small coercivity, C is small. Okay, right. So these are the point you have to remember, guys. Okay, so moving into the and this is a very important formula to note down. Everybody note down this. Energy loss equal to 0.5 by RL SV SHA. N is the number of turns that we use it. R is the resistance with series. This problem they're going to ask. Remember, guys, energy loss of the BH loop 0.5 N by RL SV SH A. N is the number of turns. How many turns we use it? R is the resistance of the series coil. L is the coil length. R is the resistance. L is the coil length. SV is the vertical deflection. SH is the horizontal deflection. A is the area of the loop. So SV is what? Vertical deflection. SH is the horizontal deflection. A is the area. So you should remember this formula, guys. Energy loss equal to 0.5 N by RL S V S H A. Okay, SSA. You can also remember SSA. Number of turns, resistance, length, vertical deflection, horizontal deflection area. So this energy loss can be calculated from this formula. Okay, very good. So and applications, what are the applications, guys? Yeah, there are a lot of applications for which okay, let me the applications of the BH loop, especially soft ferromagnetic materials such as iron and silicon, still have the very narrow magnetic hysteresis, very low energy loss is very less. So we use these are the ideal material to use the solenoids transformers, etc. Okay, so very useful to make the transformers and solenoids. And the magnetic hysteresis results dissipation of wasted energy in the form of heat with energy wasted. So if the energy is less, which is a good material. Okay, so the thing we have to remember, BH loop can helpful to make the solenoid and transformers. You should remember that. And one more thing, and this is also very, very useful. The BH curve and the hysteresis loops are very valuable tool for comparing the characteristics and behavior of the different magnetic material in order to select them for appropriate application. So it's a very useful technique, a very useful experiment to compare the different magnetic material in order to select them in appropriate application. So if you know the strength of the magnet of that particular material, you can use it for various solar like sensors, etc. Very, very useful applications are there. Okay, so you guys need to, why we need to study the BH loop. BH loop is very useful to understand to compare the material, magnetic material, and also it is very useful to use them for the transformer and the solenoidal. Okay, right. Thank you guys. Yeah, definitely a lot of applications are there, and we have completed almost like a 40 to 50% of the syllabus. So I think I'm going to take 2 or 3 classes about the next. I'm going to finish this chapter. After that, we have 2 more units are left. Okay. Yes, we're going to discuss after completion of this chapter. We're going to discuss the model papers. Let's see how we can able to solve the question paper. Okay. After that, we'll attack the another chapter. Next another 2 more chapters. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and do well for the backlog. If you have any backlog, do well in the exams. Okay. Don't tense. You just need to try your level best. Do well. Okay.
Okay.
But don't tense. I think I don't know whether you got this center. I mean, Naitnagar or somewhere else. But yeah, I let me know. You guys have exam. Like, do I need to stop classes or let me know? Do you need classes or do I need to stop? Like, take classes after exams. What is your suggestion, guys?
We
What is
should
your
compare
suggestion?
batch.
Sorry.
We should take decision by comparing all.
I know, but I don't know how many of you have backlogs. Do I need to continue taking classes or do I need to stop classes? It's up to you. Majority. How many of you want to classes? How many of you don't want to? Can you tell me tomorrow?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, you can ask your friends, and tomorrow class, you guys can decide and tell me uh, when you have a class. I mean, backlog exams will begin. When do you from? ఈ రోజు నుంచేనా? I don't know. Just check it. But I will decide tomorrow. I mean, you can check your schedules, and if it is really, tough to attend my classes, definitely we'll stop classes and we'll start after Dasra.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Huh?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you have to decide it. Like, but anyway, we have to complete syllabus, and not for our exams like BSc exams, but our career is important. You don't have much time for the after completion of this syllabus, we have to go for the next semester exams, next semester syllabus. So a lot of syllabus, and we have to prepare for the MSc also. We have to we have to discuss at least, competitive exams, what exams you have to do, going to appear. Okay, based on that, I'll give the material. Okay. Right. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
sure.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.